No reaction.
How could that impact the game?
We've got to play better than we did the other day, regardless of who's playing.
What was the thinking behind the day off yesterday, Brad, and how do you think it went for your team?
Yeah, I mean, you just haven't had a chance to get a day away and take a deep breath. And, you know, we've played these guys now 7 times, 3 times in 5 days. You know, the deal is we have to play a lot better than we did. Certainly some things that we need to make sure we're better at or that we need to go over. But at the same time, those are things that you can accomplish in, you know, a film and a workout and then another film session tomorrow. So we're trying to, we want our guys to be able to stay in the moment, focus on what's important with the playoffs, but also, you know, there's a lot of time between games. And sometimes a day off is as good as a day of good prep.
Coach, what are those things that you're focused on?
A lot. We have a lot that we have to focus on from the other day.
In the first quarter, Brad, we've talked about that they've really been at their best. Are there 1 or 2 things that they're doing particularly well at the start of games that jump out at you more than others?
Yeah, tons of things. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's as easy as saying 1 or 2 things. I mean, they were terrific defensively, forcing turnovers, getting out and running. They've rebounded almost 50% of their shots in the first quarter against us. Tremendous. They've really been great.
Are you considering another lineup change?
Yeah, think about it. There's 3 days between games, so there's a lot of time to think, unfortunately.
It's part of their success that maybe they look for Gortat and getting involved.
I just think they're really, you know, they're just a really good, talented group. And whether it's the first quarter, last quarter, whatever, it's a group that has a lot of options. You know, they've tried to post us with a variety of guys. And then Gortat, you know, Gortat's a guy with his ability to play in the seams as a passer, but also roll to the rim or seal you up the lane and get lobs to the rim. Makes a lot of great plays for him. So very versatile, you know, deep offensive lineup. And then, you know, I thought defensively the other night they were great.
Are you at all worried about Kelly Olynyk getting a little typecast by the way in all of this?
For what?
A little talk about him
With what? Talk about what?
He's been called the dirty player. He's been,
I mean, I'm not. No, I mean, obviously we've got to try to prepare to do everything we can to play the right way. I think there's a certain physicality that you have to play with, that all good teams play with, and at the same time, there's a line that can't be crossed, and that's not one guy. That's every guy on both teams, and. But no, I'm not worried about that from his standpoint.
Coach, Bogdanovich is one of those guys that since he came in the league, every time he catches the ball, you guys on the coaching staff is screaming up, up. How do you think you guys have been so far in the season to get alert to him when he catches the ball?
Not very good in Game 3.
And how do you change that? I mean, is it just a matter of guys staying closer to him? Or
Hey, you got to be more attached. You can't let that guy get going, and you can't let that guy get so many looks where he doesn't feel anybody.
Brad, when they're triple teaming Isaiah, is there more scheming that you can do, or is it just a matter of executing and other guys don't?
The thing that I saw that they did the other day, you know, obviously they put a lot of attention on Isaiah, as every team that we play does, right? But the thing I saw is they did it really hard. They were playing exceptionally hard, and that's the deal. It's not how many guys, it's how hard those guys are playing. And so that's a credit to them. But Isaiah's played against, you know, doubles and triples and all that other stuff all year, and we just all have to be better. And that's everybody on the roster, on the bench, on the coaching staff. We all have to do a better job of helping each other in those moments. But again, credit Washington. They played really well, and they played really hard, much harder than we did.
Brad, what type of impact did you see from Mahinmi and his return?
Really agile, really athletic, got his hands on some balls, finished around the rim. Thought he did a good job.
It's been a home series. It's been a home year for these 2 teams. If we assume that the home team's always going to play with a little more energy than the road team, what does a road team have to do to kind of stabilize a game in this series specifically?
I mean, you have to play such a poised, tough, business-like game. That's what you got to do. Everything else that doesn't matter. And ultimately, you know, and I think the best thing that we can do is, you know, make the relevant things relevant, focus on the things we need to control, and play the best on the next possession that we can play. And then let the chips fall where they may. And I think it's not easy to do because the other team's playing too, and I just mentioned how hard and tough they are, how hard they played and how tough they are. So quite a challenge.
Brad, when a guy comes and play like that, and there's an altercation, we have to talk to Kelly about just not anything heated, but just kind of keeping his emotions cool and not letting that rattle him.
I thought he did an unbelievable job keeping his emotions cool in that moment. I credit all the guys that were on the court, both teams after that. I mean, I thought that could have been, that could have started something a lot worse than it started because that was really, nobody saw that coming. So I thought both teams kept their cool in that moment for sure.
Did you know Micah could run that fast?
I played against Micah. I've known Micah for a long time. I know he can run. Thanks.
Thank you, Brad.